Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We're back in Workers and Resources today. There's a lot of things to cover, and there's a lot of time that has to pass in order for us to properly cover everything. But I wanted you to know that I sort of had every office just focus pretty much entirely on courthouses for the last 2 months. Because it's been about 2 months or so, 2.5 months or so since the last video. In game time, and this courthouse is done now, and it's starting to get cases. That's going to be very helpful. I also had Charlements drop all the things it was doing and finish the Rand building. So the Rand building is done now as well. Over the last 2 months, this thing just finished, and it's starting to fill up with some more court staff, and we're starting to see more cases be seen here too, because this building just finished. Now what's going to happen here is we're going to stop getting so many cases thrown out, right? We're going to actually start, litigating. We're actually going to start giving people sentences when they do something wrong, which is fantastic news. Unfortunately, it also means that our prisons are going to start getting overpopulated, and when that happens, well, we're not really giving them good habits. Lowering loyalty, they're not enjoying themselves, the alcohol is a problem, etc. At least criminality is still doing well, but we do want to kind of rehabilitate people a lot better. And you look at this prison is almost full. It's 198 prisoners in here, almost full. We're barely affecting criminality. The important stat here, though, the most important stat is criminality. As long as we're bringing this down, that's good. But yeah, it is going to take it's going to take a little bit. So we're going to need more prisons is what I'm saying. So deciding where to put more prisons, I've started off with a decision to put one here, right behind the courthouse. So they are getting to work on that. The walking path and stuff is started right through here. And then this just got done, and I don't think there's a road connection right here I have to connect now too. So we're going to get a gravel road. Yeah, I think we'll have it come off of this side is fine. So we'll put the gravel road here. And then we're going to put, of course, some loyalty stuff down in here too. We want to affect that as much as we can. 3.4% seems cool. I mean, I know there's better ones, but I'm trying not to use red stars everywhere because it gets boring. I want to spice it up a little bit here. Clock tower is interesting. But why don't we, and I realize this is a red star still, but why don't we put one of these little emblems here instead? At least it's a little bit different. So you can put one of these little emblems in. There's a red star right here already, though. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. Let's do something different. Let's go with, yeah, you know what? We'll just use the Lenin statue. It's not, I mean, yes, we have that before, but I want that instead. So right now, there's a red star going on right here. And I'm going to go ahead and just have them not do that. And we're going to instead get the Lenin statue here instead, because it's just going to make me feel better to have that instead. All right, there we go. So another prison going in here. Now, I don't know if that's going to be enough because we have a lot of cases to solve. I thought about putting a prison over here in Warstock, but I'm not going to because there's just not enough labor. So I want to have another prison in this area that the labor in this area can, be used for it. I'm not really sure where it could go. Maybe wherever it goes, we need to have buses taking people there. And right now, there are a lot of people that can reach this bus station, but there are also a lot of people who take the train from here and the buses and stuff from there. So there's barely anyone ever in this train station because the buses pick them up pretty quick. Kind of pretty much as soon as they get in there, the buses pick them up. So, yeah, we have a really good cycle of vehicles coming through here. Anyway, so this prison idea, right? Repair vehicles too. Why don't we grab, before I forget, let's grab you there. Grab a bunch of these repair vehicles so they can go off and do things. Maybe I don't want to put them near the polluters, right? Because we don't want them to die or get sick. I mean, it would be less tragic than non-criminals getting sick, but man, there's just I'm zooming out here and I'm just like, we're utilizing the space, right? And we're doing a pretty good job here at utilizing this space, but right here could work for a prison. It's not super far away from, I think it's far enough away from the polluters, but I don't know how we're getting people here. It's going to have to be a bus thing constantly, right? We're going to need more buses coming through. That's going to add some traffic congestion, but this road is built to handle personal cars, so adding buses is not really a big deal. So, and then there is I believe right here, there's an end station, so we could utilize this on the way through. Okay, tell you what, if it fits, and I'm pretty sure it will since the fields can be adjusted and everything, like the fields will give way. So we're going to go and say there's a prison right over here as well. Right. Yeah, right over here as well. Man, it will let me do it here, but not. That's silly. Can I flip it over and still do it here? Yeah, I don't want it to interrupt the fields if I can help it. So right about, like this would be ideal, is right here. Is there any way I could maybe talk you into letting me do that? Huh? No? I'm gonna have to go this way? Okay, we'll flip you back over then, it's fine. How about right here? No? Alright, we're gonna have to dig into this little field for just a little bit, but it's just the way it is. I want a prison right here. Right there. That'll get in the way of that field just a little bit. So it made that field just a little bit smaller. But we'll get this built, and I think I want helicopters focusing on that because I need more prisons. And then we can get some buses that'll take people in from the bus stop here and the bus stop here, maybe both. And they can use the highway to get down into this area. They'll flip a UE. Well, this is the left turn here. We don't have a UE flip over here, do we? Maybe we need to get one. They can come in through here. I think that's a one-way though. And then this other one. Yeah, we actually do need a U-turn right here. Like, what are these guys doing? Oh, I guess they cross here. Yeah, they're crossing at this dirt road, which it's not as fluid. I like the trees here, but I think I would like to get a proper turnaround right here instead. So why don't we have this come in right before the signs maybe? So we can have this be about like this, I guess. It's going to be like this. Oh, hi, autosave. Man, I was doing so good avoiding you for a while. Let's go right. It's tricky. You gotta really position it perfect to make it look good. There you go. Just a little bit more, and then in. Come on now. Don't do that. Let me go in. Really? Game's had some updates. Maybe they don't let me do this anymore. That would be very silly. Too sharp of a turn, my ass. All right, let's try this. So we'll bring it back just a little bit. I'll come from this side and we'll do this. Yeah, that's gonna work. I'll be fine with that. That's an okay left turn. And that's just so they can come out this way and then they'll turn around and come this way. So from here, from this road, in fact, there's a dirt road right here. I guess we could just get started with construction off of the dirt road. But something a little bit more permanent is going to be needed because we need to deliver goods here. So I'm thinking maybe instead we take this little gravel road from this side and say here. And we'll give you a separate road on this side. About like that. And then do I need you to work anywhere else is the big question. From this position? I don't think so. Let's go ahead and confirm the roads. I don't think so, but I'm tempted to put a bus stop in here anyway, just in case. Because I guess they could get to working over there too. It could be providing, this bus could be providing workers to even concrete. Maybe. I'd have to place this just right to do that, but it'd have to be over into this field, which, I don't know, these fields are kind of weird anyway with how diagonal and stuff they are, so I think I am okay with replacing them, but there's going to need to be some kind of walkway that gets them over here. And it's way easier for a bus to just travel over here and drop them off So I think maybe we'll go right here. Right in the middle of this field. Like this. That'll cut the field this way. Which is fine. We can put some propaganda stuff over here and, you know, help the loyalty in the area and all that stuff. Okay. So, if that's the case, why don't we... So they're all roundabout and everything, right? Why don't we work on getting this stuff kind of fixed here too? This is where asphalt and everything is made. So it should be very quick to do this kind of thing. Why don't we get an asphalt road here and also here, and let's not cut that off entirely. Let's go this way with it. That would cut it off entirely, wouldn't it? Okay, we'll pause right there. And let's get these guys to make the asphalt road right here and here. And then they could, I guess, make it here too. So let's get this road in as well. So all of these roads need to be worked on by these guys, and they're going to start, you know, they're going to hop to on construction right away. Start getting all these things done because it's right next to them. All right, so when they're done with this asphalt road over here and getting all this stuff done, we'll now have a nice road for a bus to drop people off in. We could then make this asphalt and get rid of this dirt right here. That way anyone coming this way can turn right, and then they'll just turn around over there, and then they won't have to worry about intersections on this side. So that's the game plan for now. When these roads are done, then we'll pave this, at least to here. We'll pave that. And then I do think I think I'm okay with the dirt being here, but maybe make it gravel just to give it a little higher priority. But yeah, it'll be fine. Let's take a look at this building. So it can have 120 court staff, but only 40 judges. If I come over to here, this can have 50 court staff and 30 judges. So there's a little bit more. There's a little bit more judges going on there, and it's also a smaller footprint on the ground from here all the way over to like this. So this is less space on the ground because it's built up, right? But it has more judges, which is nice to see. And it's not super overburdened with cases anymore. Maybe take a look at this one. Nope, not there. Right over here. So this one was overburdened with cases for a while, and this is not that bad anymore. So I think we've balanced it out. I think we have enough cases now, or enough courts. Yeah. We have enough courts to take care of the crime issue now. Of course, we do need to really monitor people dying. I have had quite a few deaths. Yeah, I would say quite a lot of deaths here. Let's go with population statistics. So mostly my population is kind of hovering in the high 70s, right? 75, 77, 78. We do get quite a few deaths, but we offset them with births just fine. What we're getting a lot of, though, are escapes. And that's just primarily, I think, because people don't get jobs. If you go without a job for a long time, you leave, right? They don't want to be here anymore. Health-wise, we're doing okay. There are some people still complaining on starving. There's a pollution issue somewhere. Might have to look at that. For 10,000 people complaining about pollution, might be a trash issue. Might want to take a look at that too. But at this point, we have everybody spread out, and everyone's kind of in their own compartmentalization, that there's really no way I'm going to get to like this mass death wipe and just lose everything, right? We might lose areas and have to address those areas using equipment and supplies from other areas to fix them. But at this point, we're pretty stable. You know, overall, pretty stable. 3% unemployment's not bad, right? This guy's waiting for what exactly? Is it right? There's a train in here loading steel, and you have to be on this track. So this steel train could have used any track, but it chose to use that one, and there's no way for this train to get around to this one because the coal drop-off is the same track. So I mean, that's just bad luck, you know. There's two-thirds chance that that doesn't cause a problem, and it's just this specific time it did. So he'll just be waiting here, though. It's just a supply train. It's not that big of a deal, I don't think, anyway. Let's go ahead and make that road. Since I'm clicking in, I might as well do this too, just to manage the traffic situation. There we go. We could actually make this a solid intersection here. let's do something about, I think it's something about like this would actually be better. So let's do something like that instead for traffic. Okay, let's take a look at some progress on some stuff here, yeah? I want to check in on the rail. Let's make sure we're not getting super confused. Hi, trains. Goodbye. Make sure we're not getting super confused here. So this rail is getting some pretty decent progress done on it. This guy was waiting for these guys to be done down here. But now that these rails are done, I can get signals out this way, so that doesn't happen in that intersection anymore. So why don't we get a mixed signal here and here? That'll cut that off. So now any train that's waiting will be waiting way over here, which is good. And then they're not quite done with this side. They did start this, but I went ahead and canceled this because I don't want them to do it. I don't really want them to do this either. There's no point. So let's make sure they're not doing that. But they are doing this, of course, and then they'll continue on all the way up this way until they connect. We're going to have them prioritize this direction, of course, and they'll prioritize getting into here. And that's where we'll drop off our uranium. It'll be very nice. Conversion plant is nearly done. I stopped the construction on it. I don't want it to finish. I did want this to finish, and it did. It doesn't have any power, though. So I don't know about dropping people off without power. It shouldn't matter, because it's like a custom routed train anyway. So I think they'll still drop them off without power. And then they'll be able to walk, I guess. Not yet, but yeah, they can walk to some jobs. But not all of them. But they'll be able to walk a little bit, and then the reactor has started. We've started production or construction on this too. We've delivered bricks, delivered some boards. Many thousands of work days remaining. Kind of the same thing with this cooling tower here. We're on the groundworks for another 3,000 days. This one over here is being worked on as well. So it's going to take a very long time to build this. I don't remember what year I predicted we would be up and running on this. I think I probably said 2026, but it might be longer than that because I had to redirect a whole bunch of construction towards courthouses and everything. Okay, so now I can redirect all the construction towards the prison. So we're going to say high priority for the prison, and that should get everybody to come over here and work this instead. Magnetograd office, I would like you to finish these things if you could, please. So let them work on that. I'm also getting another police station here because why not? And an orphanage because why not? Okay. I'm looking at my list here. It says check orphan situation. Why did I type that? Let's take a look. I write my notes in case you're curious because I play so many things, and then on the top of that, my personal life is just ridiculous right now. I don't think I've ever been as busy as I am right now. Having kids is very disruptive to work. But so I don't forget things while I still have it fresh in my head at the end of the episodes. I go through for about 20 minutes or so and just kind of look over everything. Just kind of click around, kind of see what things are. And then I make bullet point notes at that moment so that when I come back to record it on Sunday, Monday, or in my case now, Tuesday night, that's how things are working right now to get things to you Wednesday. I at least can see the notes that I have when I'm fresh in my head. And it says check the orphan situation, which probably means we have an orphan problem. And, you know, it would appear this way. We have children coming up without a good upbringing here. And they are definitely growing up with criminality. Oh, boy. So we need more orphanages now. That's probably part of this is the crime problem, right? Like their parents are getting arrested, so they're going to orphanages. A lot of this is, you know, that starving bit and the different reasons for them to die. So yeah, we definitely need more. That's orphan gang is going to hit us again. Children without upbringing. They're pretty much everywhere, man. So where are we going to put them? Where do we put the orphans? I don't know. Without a good upbringing, I mean, there's a lot of these kids that are coming up here to be criminals right now. So I think maybe this orphanage is a bigger deal. We'll turn that on too. Not sure why that was off. I might have misclicked, but we're going to need to make these things higher priorities as well. I don't think one orphanage is going to be enough. So now we need to do something else with orphanages too. I mean, I might be able to get away with one over here. I don't know. I don't think anyone could walk there, and they have to be able to walk to the orphanage. I can't have people I can't be relying on buses. Maybe in this area it'd be okay to rely on buses, but I really don't want to. Maybe an orphanage could fit back here. It's a little wonky, but we do what we got to do, right? This is too steep. No. Not going to fit there. It's too steep. We could put it over here. And it looks to me like that's at least in range for some people to walk here. Yeah. Some people could walk to work here at this orphanage. I'm not sure about delivering resources here. I have to set that up with the distribution offices, but it's a place where it will fit. And it's got power. It's got sewage. Doesn't have sewage. It does not have sewage. No, sewage stops right there. And on this side, it stops where? Yeah, it doesn't have sewage. Back up. We don't have it. Let's make sure we plant those trees back. I want to have trees here still. All right, so where are we putting this orphanage? You know what we could do? We could finally look at, and it's, I mean, I already have a lot of construction happening, but you can see prisoners are overflowing here too. We got a major overflow problem here, so we just need to focus on a lot of this crime stuff now. But one thing we could maybe do is expand Cernakova. I've been wanting to expand Cernakova. We could put out this way. There's a lot of room for stuff out this way. And if I look underground, do we have any connections for sewage? Yeah, right here. So we can have additional septic and stuff. We can tap into the existing lines right here. We have 4 different connections. That's pretty nice. We have additional connections over here we could tap into. So there's a lot of availability when it comes to sewage to expanding Cernakova right now. And obviously that would take a long time, especially since we're focusing construction elsewhere. But most of our construction efforts are actually fairly far away from Charlebinsk at the moment. So I think most of Charlebinsk's stuff is probably just sitting around, not doing much, right? So we could put that to work expanding over this way, which is actually not something I was planning to do this video, but yeah, I think that's probably where it needs to be. It's going to take a long time. It's not going to fix the problem quickly. Is my main problem here. It's a really big issue. It's not going to fix it quickly. And in fact, maybe even having another prison put in right next to this one would be an okay situation. It has all the same connections. Heat is actually an issue. If I remember correctly, this heating area is at its limit, right? All of this stuff is at its absolute limit. So anything I do over here, I think it's going to need its own heat source too. And I don't know if it's really a big deal, but I might just place it right next to it. I might just put another heater right here, which would kind of screw over all these houses because they're already in the danger zone with that. And there's 35 people that don't have a job here because I did this. Let's do that instead. Anyone else, did I specifically tell them to work in a certain spot? Because when I do that, it usually works out for a little while and then I forget about it. Population grows and now we don't need to do it anymore. Yeah, I think expanding Cernakova is the way to go here because crime is getting out of control. So to get the coal over here, I'm gonna let it play just a little bit here so I can get rid of the rain because I would like to see this without rain. Okay, there we go. And the sun is shining now. Yeah. Okay. So to get coal over here, what are we gonna do with that? So coal obviously comes all the way over here. And it gets carted around over to this side with a train. The train pulls in right here to drop off that coal, and it goes right there. Now, I could tap into that and bring that coal over this way, right? We could do that with an elevator. Have to be, yeah, something fancy like that, right? I could do that right there. And that would bring that coal over. But it would mean that the other heater is now the primary coal source. So, in other words, if we have a coal shortage, the entirety of what we've already built in Cernakova is the part that gets screwed in favor of the part over here. I don't really like that idea. There's another one here I could use, but it's just not. Well, yeah. I don't think I can get that out of here. That's just not going to happen. So we're going to need a new path for this. Now, I think it's okay for them to cut this direction. And then we could set up the heat stuff kind of back in this area near the border. And then just have the train bring the coal this way from here. We could have that happen. Because there's no intersections between this and all the way over here. From here. Like, there's no intersections here. Okay, so I think what I want to do here is I want to position coal, as far away from the population center as possible. We want to keep the population right in this area. I feel like is probably the best. Just like away from this, but also down in here. So I think the heater could either be on this side of the road, which would be doable. It might cost a little bit more for the supply, but like we could put this right on the edge here, I think. I was thinking initially to putting it here, right here next to the power, but I'm thinking it's possible maybe to get away with putting it over here, kind of like this. If we do it here, right on the edge of the water, we could get a bus stop to drop people off over here. There would be no way for people to walk here. They're just too far away, but we would rely on buses if we did this right by the border. And then we'd have to find a way to get the coal there too. That's important. So let's be hypothetical on this. Let's say we go like this. Okay. And then let's say we go... Well, I was going to hopefully try to get it to connect on this side, like straight up, but I think we might be able to get away with just using one of these little elevators. So if I flip this around and go like this, do I really need to use the tall one? I don't think so, but it's just a little bit more resources, so I guess we will. So we'll go about like this with it. And now we just need to bring that coal from this side. We need to lift it up a little bit to do that. But if I use one of these storages, it will lift it up for me there. Right there. So if we can put something like this, would work pretty well. And it's just a little bit more resources to get it over the road, but I think it's fine. And then we just need the aggregate unloading. So the train aggregate unloader, we're going to use, I think, the 130. Let's use the 130. We only need one single track. And we'll flip it over and we'll do it about like this. So we'll bring it in and say right about here is okay. Let's say right about here. Okay. So now we're going to say, let's just put this dirt road and have it connect right here. That's fine with me. Now we need the train to come through here. There's already a couple of signals there. And there's some signals right here. And I think maybe we'll use these signals. I mean, obviously I can move the signals, but just kind of see where this train track comes in. And actually, I'm going to move the signals anyway. Yeah. Okay, so electric track. And it's going to come straight this way. Yeah, about there is good. And then we'll have it come out and connect like this, I suppose. Yep. And then from here, we also want you to connect to this rail as well. See if we can't. Yeah, something like that. This way, a train comes in, drops off the coal, it turns right around and gets out of here. I'm not really concerned about trains queuing up in the area. In fact, I'm just going to go in and do this now. Like that. Like that, and then like that. I'm not really concerned about trains queuing up here. This isn't even low traffic area. This is like a no traffic area. And we're not going to be using it much. To be honest, I don't really know why I'm connected to this border. I just did it anyway. And since it's already paid for, then fine. But, we're definitely going to want to use this area. So let's say we go about like that with it. We can get rid of these signals too. There we go. And let's make sure we go the right direction here. So that one's going this way and this one's going that way. Okay. So now we'll build this rail and come out here. We'll stop right in this area. We will unload the coal. That will go to this. And then this goes and does everything that it does. Now, we want to keep away from this as best as we can. So I'm going to say maybe 300 meters away. I think that's okay. This is the direction of the wind too, I think, though. So Maybe a little bit further, maybe like 350, maybe 400. Either way though, like we could go 400 meters away and still be like right here. That's pretty good. So pretty much everybody that all this whole Cernikova expansion can kind of be all up in this right now, and it won't be near that, which is pretty good. Because I was gonna put it right here, and that would have taken probably a whole nother couple of apartment complexes out of there. So okay, so for that purpose, let's go in and get ourselves another prison. And I'm gonna put this, like I said, this is all very like maxed out, but now that I've got that, I'll bring it over and it should be fine. So we'll have the heat from that side too. So let's put this right here. It has sewage already access, water access already. Everything seems good here. Pop that right there. That's an extra prison. We could even do one more prison, but we're getting a little bit crazy on the prisons here, I think. But we could do it. And with an extra population living right across the road, they would be able to staff these prisons okay. So this is just a big old prison block, I guess, now. Which should be okay, yeah. We just need to be able to deliver all the goods that they need, so... let's go in... Yeah, I'm trying to decide if I want to flip this like this or not. I think no. I think I'm going to keep it over on this side. And then we'll go as far back toward the track as we can go. Let's say right about here is fine. All right, so we have ourselves a little prison block through here. And let's just get these things connected to the road network. We'll come off of this road here, I think, for that. It's pretty close to an intersection. I'm not sure how I like that. I think I don't. I'm going to just change that up really quick and do it back here. There we go. Yeah, now it's like more like a curvy driveway sort of thing. I like that. That's fine. And then this side is already kind of exactly where we want it to be. We're just going to modify this a little bit by going like that and then put that back. Okay, Charlabinsk, you can now get on with that. And we can also use the Cernikova labor offices to build these, okay? Here we go. Try to get our prison population going in here. We're also going to get Charlabinsk's offices to work on all of these things, although it can't reach this heater, so we're going to need to go in and get this to be accessible. We'll go about like this. That should be fine. Maybe we can connect it right here. Man, I'd like to put it right there, but this is okay. Yeah, I don't know if I want to crowd that or not. Let's just leave it. We'll just leave it right here. I may end up trying to make this all one big intersection in the end anyway, but we'll see. I don't think there'll be enough traffic for it to matter. And then this needs to come up here like this too. And for this case, I guess we will cross the road here because we can. Okay, so with all of that done now, I should be able to select all of it. There we go. Get all of the labor offices on it too. There we go. And then the track builders need to come out here and do this. So let's grab our track builders, make sure that they are auto searching, so they should be able to see this. It looks like they can. So I think they'll auto search this and just do it. Let's make sure that we put this on a higher priority so that they do that. And it doesn't seem like it's added to the list. I have been doing more electrification. I want to give you guys an update on that too. It's coming along slowly but surely. It's coming along. This whole thing here is not electrified all the way to the border, so that's not happening. But you see how there's still a lot of symbols here. There's all these electrical symbols, right? Well, you may notice that they're really not present here much anymore. And that's because pretty much every track on the screen right now is electrified now. So if I was to go through here and just kind of highlight all of that, there's a little segment right there I haven't done, but that's okay. This little tiny segment there needs done, I guess. And then this is all electric now, not to the trash. The trash trains are still not electric. And I don't think they ever will be. I think we'll probably keep diesel trains on trash just because trash needs to get out to really remote places and it's not worth electrifying those tracks. And then a little bit of cross right there. This is a wooden one though for the track builders, so I don't think that's really going to matter much. And then all of this is electrified too. So we are electrified all the way out there, which feels okay, but we still have a lot of green track to go on this side. And through here, there's still a few tracks I have to do. And then through here, this is mostly electrified, but there's still some connections that have to be made. And I think once we connect this up, I think specifically these 2 tracks right here, once we get these electrified, all of these symbols should go away since they'll all be connected to the power source. And then at that point, I believe it's really just this little segment right through here to get to where that's electrified. Yeah, and then we're going to be getting this part here electrified by adding this. It's our tram trafo, right? So when that's built, we can connect this to power, and then this whole thing will stop yelling at me too. That'll be great. You are still waiting, huh? Oh my gosh, look at all these trains waiting. And of course, you're going to keep waiting because you're waiting for 350 tons of steel. That's messed up. I think you should not do that. I think you should go to this stop. And wow. Yeah, I think you should go to this stop, but I can't tell you to do that because you're one of those silly distribution office trains who wants a full 350 tons of steel, which I can't provide. I got a lot of people working here, but I can't provide that much steel. It's just so much steel. Yeah, we're missing a lot of steel. It's difficult to keep up on steel. We're gonna need another steel setup, which is supposed to be over here, as I've said a few times, but it is just taking too long to build everything, so we're not over there yet. Since there are other projects that are higher priority, helicopters have stopped buzzing around this area for the most part, and they should be coming on over here now because these are higher priorities. So I should see them building these things over here instead. Getting this stuff set up is what I'm hoping to see. And we got more trains that need to be told what to do here. Let's go ahead and get this one first, and then this one can stay maybe a low priority. This one's in range of all utilities, heat, everything. Granted, we're a little bit maxed out, but if I could just get one more prison set up, then I wouldn't have overflow. I could move I could move 20 people from here out of here. I'm probably closer to 50, right? We could move 50 out of this one, 50 out of this one, and 50 out of that one. And now there's 150 in the new prison, and then that takes 50 out of all these ones, which would remove our crowding issue at the moment. It's just, you know, for a little while it will anyway. We're going to need another prison, which is why that's building. And then this one here is building too. Maybe. Not yet. Magnitograd. Do you not have any gravel or something? What's going on? Where's the gravel? You don't have any gravel, that's why. Yep, no gravel. The gravel's over here. There should be... I wish there was a way to just add a source. Instead of saying, you get your gravel from this spot. I really just wish the game would just go, oh, there's gravel sitting right there. I'm gonna grab it. I realize why that's not that way, but still you have the same tool set up to like specify certain things. And you also have tools set up to specify multiple buildings for a single building, which is why we have distribution offices. So like, I feel like we should have the option to select multiple gravel sources, for example. I think that would be a really good idea. These guys have this as their source actually, so they should be pulling from that. But some of these other guys don't have that. So they are not pulling from that. But you already are. This is blue already, and there is a truck right here loading right now. So we're already having some of them load from that gravel source, but yeah, I don't know. I just wish I could do that. I think that'd be a good idea. Leveled terrain also. This is very flat now. It's not perfect yet, but you know, I still have to work on this a little bit. I need to get it to be this elevation. I want to put it at this elevation all the way up to about here, and then we'll start making the hill come down. But the whole thing needs to be absolutely level for the sake of it being an airport, and I want the planes to land flat. I don't want them to land on a hill or take off from a hill. Either way, that would be not great. So anyway, I'll keep working on that in the interim here while between the cuts and stuff. But Crime is just going to continue to be an issue, and now it's up to affecting 15,500 people. So we are definitely having a crime problem, and it's not going away. Even though our prisons are crowded, you can see the courthouses now have no issue. But even though the prisons are crowded, are we still removing criminality? Still there. How about the ones that are overpopulated? We're still technically removing criminality. So if I'm hovering over top of any of these guys, that's like 27, 90% right here. 90% criminality. Is it what this person has? Yeah. Holy moly. He's going to keep committing crimes for a very long time. And his sentence is only 1.3 years. So he just didn't do enough to remove that criminality at all. He might have been at 100 and now down to 90, but that's unfortunate. So we're going to have a crime problem for a while, but I don't think it's something we can't come back from. I think it's just something our city's going through. We're going to go through a bit of a crime wave. Warstock is going to go through a bit of a trash problem in a little while, and they may already have this problem. We do have a lot of different containers, but we are separating them, which is generally more efficient. The issue with Warstock is a little bit unique in that Warstock is so far away from a border. I mean, they're right here, but there's no place to dump it anywhere. So, like, their closest way for us to bring trash, for example, to the border, we have to come all the way over here to do that. That's an enormous distance, especially when there's no high-speed roads and you're kind of having to get into Zernovsky in order to get through there. That's a really far distance, and I can't do anything about that. You can't add a border crossing. And then the next closest one on this side is all the way over here. We're not doing anything with that yet. So obviously we need trains to come through here, and we need a way for us to collect trash, pick it up with a train, and take it off to its destination. That's what we need. So we have the train track, and we're going to eventually start getting the oil hookup. So what I'm thinking is maybe we start looking into that too. And we could have the train tracks, for example. It would be a good idea to know exactly where these oil things are so that I don't mess up that part of it. So pump jacks, there's oil right here. Yeah. All right, just make sure I don't get in the way of that. And so all of this area right here is fine. Yep. So that would work. The other option is to do the trash collection over here on this side. And then there's a highway that takes them in. But they still have to do the highway to bring it out of here. And while I do have a train track here, this track is curving to go this way. It's not coming this direction. And I don't want to change that. I think I like where it's going now. I think I like everything about the tracks right now. So I think eventually we'll have another trash area over here to help with this town. But for now, we're going to have Warstock's trash kind of being managed over here by the border. The train can come around this river or around the lake here, pick up the garbage, and get it out of here via the train network. So knowing where this is and not wanting to get in the way, we're going to say, yeah, we're going to put just it's kind of arbitrary. I'm just going to put a little dirt road right here. And that just tells me to stay on that side of the road. Okay, so what I want to do is we're going to have the train track. It's going to come out straight. Straight this way is good enough, I think. Maybe about there. Should be good enough. And of course, it's all electric. Although, does it need to be? We talked about this. Trash trains, right? We'll do it. Because we're going to do the oil through here, too. So, let's have this just come around on this side. We want to go wide just because I may want to put some things on along the water. So I'm going to have this train track kind of go out wide here. About like that, yeah. And then it's going to come out and go about like this. Now, I think from this point, I'll probably just have this merge into a single track. And nah, it doesn't need to do that. So here, for the waste, we want to go with one of these. Claws, railways, whatever, right? And we're going to go into... I think maybe I will put the road on this side, just so that the cars never have to cross it. We'll have the cars come this way and around to deliver, and then the trains will pick it up from this side. So I think the trains will go in. Let's put it like this. We're gonna go maybe here. 1 and 2. I think about like this would be okay. And we will connect them with a factory connection. I don't know if it works, but if it does, great. And what I'd like to do with it... Oh, actually, I want to spread these out a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Spread them out about like here, I think. Yeah, this is good. So we'll connect them like this. We're going to go with factory connection on this side like this. And then what I want to try is we're going to put in one of these big dumps. Transfer stations. Something like this, I think. I don't know if this is the right way to do it, but we're going to do it. So mixed waste, and then the other miscellaneous waste in here for the transfer station. And then we can also go ahead and do that same thing on this side, another one there, and another one here. Because I don't think we're going to get trains very often. And what I'm hoping is that if the train pulls in here, it'll be able to pull from these storages too. So each one of these has one that only the one can access, and then there's one that they share. And we can have the most common types of waste that don't go into mixed. So like construction waste, for example, or bio waste. We can have that be here. And then the lesser ones that aren't really all that big of a deal, like plastic, that kind of stuff can be on the ends. Okay. So that'll just be our waste drop-off area. We could go further and have the separation happen here, like have the processing here. But then I run into the problem where I need labor. And getting labor over here is something I'm not trying to do. So we're going to avoid the labor and just do this somewhere else. So I think what we'll do here is we'll have these tracks will go this direction, and then I think we're going to go straight over like this with it. That's pretty good. This one's going to go out, and I think it'll be up next to it until here, and then it'll spread to there. That seems pretty good. And then we'll also go out this direction in a straight. Yep, like that. And like that. Crossing not allowed. Don't do that. Come on now. Oh, come on now. Don't be like that. This was working so well until you had to go and ruin it. Here, I guess. Okay. And then you will go out and connect to that one. And you will go out and connect to that one. And then from right here, we'll have a crossing. Like that and like that. There. So now the train will park right here when it's waiting, or it can just, use another one. So there's a big old track here that we can start building. It's going to take a while, but that's the nature of the game right now, right there. Everything looks good other than that. Yeah, these are all connections. Seems good. Yep. These can go away too. Let's do that. Seems fine. Mixed signal here and here. Yep. And then we'll have the signals on this side, but we won't. Will we need it? I don't think we'll need it. Because once the train gets here, it'll go in here. And if there's another one waiting, it'll just wait right here. All right. So that train that stuff needs to be built too. So we'll go over to the train rail construction yard, which is currently on fire. Oh. And there's no one coming to stop it. Just the helicopter, huh? Nobody wants to help this? That's a bit weird. You have a fire department right here. You're not calling it? That's a bit sus. I think I'll go ahead and call it myself. I'm not sure why it didn't call that fire department. Do you really think the helicopter can do it all by itself? I mean, maybe. Let's take a look. Can you actually... You're coming down this way. Look at that paint job. I don't remember buying you. Did you get reskinned since I bought this thing? Since I built this? Seems pretty nifty. Let's follow this over there and see if it can actually do it. So the progress of the fire is at 12%, 24, 25. I mean, the damage, man. We're gonna have to do maintenance on this thing again. Okay, so we're at 16%. Can it do it all on its own before these cars get here? I'm skeptical on that. I don't think so. Which means, like, if it can't put it out right here, that means that the game was going to let this building burn down because it wasn't calling the trucks that were nearby. Oh, yeah. That is not going to happen. That is not going to happen. It is not going to do it by itself. 8, 7. Yep. Now it's back to 9%. So that helicopter cannot put the fire out. The game was going to let this burn to the ground. What a jerk. But the fire department is coming. Like the trucks are on their way now. They have to go around the roundabout to get to the fire. Oh. And then the dirt roads, of course, too. Yeah. And then all around for the dirt roads, too. Oh, that's a very long path. We should do something about that. That's the next thing I'm doing. Once the fire is put out, we're going to make this an asphalt road. And it doesn't need to be asphalt, but at least at minimum it needs to be gravel. I mean, imagining these would I lose the train too, right? Oh, here's an idea. Can this thing respond to a job while it's on fire? I guess the track builder inside, it won't leave until, yeah, I think that's what it is. It's not going to leave the office again. But look at this, man. This building now is at like 58, 59%. What is this? 58%. Now it needs reconstructed again. It was like 18% before. That fire just wrecked me. You need a reconstruction job over here all over again. Yeah, lower worker productivity due to reconstruction. Well, is it even happening? Is there an office assigned to it? Yes. 3, in fact. So, all right, well, it'll get done, at least. But I did want to make sure, let's go ahead and pause it really quick so I get my frame rates back. I do want to make sure, at least, though, that you have this job over here assigned. Okay, so right there is the only one you can get to, I guess, all the way out that way. And then once you get out here and you create this crossover, then you guys can do this side. But I would like you to be able to do this side anyway. So maybe I'll put in one of those little wooden... I think I will. I'll put it in one of these. Yeah. So once you build this, and we'll make this a high priority. Once you build that, then you'll be able to get to the other side and you can work on both sides of that track. Okay? Make this a high priority for you guys too. Cool. Anyway, Warstock, garbage, right? So let's take a look at some of the garbage dumps that there are in here and see if we're in trouble, because we're not in trouble yet, and the trucks will bring them over here. This is what's happening right now. It's very inefficient, and I want to change it. So all the garbage trucks, they pick up the garbage, whatever, and they come over here and they drop it in here. Okay? And then from here, where it's all sorted, another distribution office, which has no place to put it now? How did that happen? Fires. Right. The fires invalidated it. I had a fire over here. So there's a whole bunch of mixed waste. There's plastic waste in here. There's some metal scrap. Right. So they're using this stuff. And then these offices, these trucks right here. So that's how that's happening. So the trucks over here will pick up from here and they'll bring it to this. All right. And then from there, this distribution office will then pick up this stuff and we'll take it over to this area for processing, or it will take it to I thought it would take it to the border, but this one is only going to there. Yeah. So this will take it all the way over into our existing trash setup right here. Okay. And then the mixed waste goes over here. And then from there, the existing system goes. So basically, this trash from Warstock gets passed to 4 different offices in order to get it to its destination, ultimately over in Cernikova, or to get dropped off at the border which almost always has at least one garbage truck dropping something off. Yeah. So it's very inefficient. I don't like how many trucks have to interact with that. So that's why we're going to put this over here. That way these trucks will now bring it all over here instead. And there's a whole lot of storage. They can fill it up. Train comes in, picks all the stuff up, and off it goes. And that's what we're looking for now. Cool. I think I've talked your ear off a little bit in this video. We've done some stuff. And I think until this gets done, I really can't do much here. But I think next video, assuming one of these prisons are built, if that's not the case, then I don't know. But assuming one of the prisons are built, our crime problem should start to... It should be starting the process of getting rid of it, right? We're losing population still. I think crime is playing a big role in that. No water is playing a big role in happiness too. I don't know where that's at. I'd have to find out where that is. Every time I look at no water, it's hard to find. This is a hard thing to find. You go to water flow. The only buildings that don't have water flow are typically buildings that don't have anybody living in them. So all those zeros don't matter because nobody's living in those buildings. And if you have water flow, then you don't have a water problem, right? So if I click your building and it's green and you have this and it's full, then you're fine. And here we go. This one here is not quite as green, but still good. So that's fine. All of these are good. This one here, it says 0. You have water though. I'm not sure why there's nothing per day though. That's interesting. That is peculiar. You have water. It's basically full. Your internal tank is full. This shopping center has nothing. Oh, there's nobody working here. Oh. Well, that's peculiar too. I never set that up with logistics. This is just sitting here doing nothing. I never set it up. Yeah. They're using this for electrical components. I have to set this up. I must have built this a long time ago. This thing probably has gotten repaired. It has to have gotten repaired at least 7 times without doing anything. Yeah. Welcome to my life, man. On the plus side, 113 million rubles, huh? We can afford to buy some stuff if we need it. And I probably will. Take it easy, guys. Love your faces. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.